Why? Why do people walk in when I record? It's not even funny. Well, how's it going, guys? Tiki here. Today I have a OU match for you. As you can see, it will be the last. I will have more UU matches coming up, you know, like I posted yesterday. There'll be some good ones coming up, do not fear. But this was a good OU match. I decided to put this up today just as a representation of, you know, just, I don't know, playing well, I guess. So, just to give a overview of the teams, I'm using a Rotten Wash here, a Tyranitar, a Landorus, Terrakion, Gliscor, and CROCUNE. That is indeed a CROCUNE. And my opponent's going to be using, my opponent, TeamSmasher, is going to be using a Raikou, a Gallade, a Victini, a Hydreigon, a Ferrothorn, and a Slowbro. Now, I'm kind of worried right off the bat because Gallade is normally Scarfed, and I was kind of worried that it was, and I needed to trick it to find out. So, go back, I'll play the Battle Bat now, and you guys can see pretty much how it all turned out. So, anyway, Rotom lead, obviously. He's going to lead with that. I trick. As you can see, I do get the Scarf back, which is really annoying, because now he's going to be able to Leaf Blade me, and thankfully I take it. So, I don't think I have any investment either. I believe I'm max special attack, max speed with the trick, obviously, in the Scarf. So I'm going to switch in a Gliscor now, knowing I can take the Leaf Blade. Obviously, I've seen that he's Scarf, so I'm going to be able to take that. In comes Raikou. Now, I know he was either going to bring in the Raikou or the Hydreigon, so I go for the sub here. Now, what I should have done is known that he wouldn't stay in, obviously, to die at this point in the game. So I should have gone for the Ice Fang here. It was a really obvious move. I don't know why I didn't go for it. It would have helped me out in the long run. Anyway, he's going to go for the Draco here, knowing he absolutely has to break my substitute or sack his Raikou, either way. So I'm going to go for the Ice Fang. It does do a 30%. It does a nice amount. And now I need to switch out because I know he's probably going to want to hit me with a second Draco, which he does decide to do. I bring in T-Tar specifically to get my sand up. That will raise my special defense by 1.5 times, so I will be able to take that Draco a lot better than I should be able to. Now I know he's going to switch to Gallade. It's painfully obvious, so I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks here. And now I'm going to switch out. Now, I kind of thought about it, and I just knew he was going to go for Ice Punch. And again, if I knew, why did I do it? I just kind of thought, you know, if he does decide to CC and I lose T-Tar, then I won't have anything to bring in on the next Draco Meteor from that Hydreigon. So I kind of figured that, you know, T-Tar was more important than Gliscor in that specific situation. So anyway, now I switch into Suicune, knowing full well that he is locked into Ice Punch. That will force him to switch. And switching to Ferrothorn is his obvious move, so I decide to go for the Scald to try and burn it. Unfortunately, I don't get the burn, which is really, really, really annoying because, you know, I would have been able to set up all over his face had that have been the case. So now I'm going to have to switch to Gliscor. Thankfully, he doesn't Leech Seed, he actually goes for the Thunder Wave. So now I'm going to be able to set up a sub, and here, the worst thing in the world happens. He is the amazing Rocky Helmet set, which is really annoying. It's actually more irritating than you think, right? Because it deals over 11% damage. It does a lot more than that. And as far as I'm aware, Poison Heal only recovers 12% of your HP. So I know as long as I'm hitting that, I'm not hitting him with that, I'm not going to be able to win this Store War. And of course, he's going to be able to break my sub with a multitude of gyrables. So the one thing that I noticed, though, if you look at this very carefully, is that I don't take Iron Barbs or Rocky Helmet damage after Earthquaking, although I do want an Ice Fang. Not really too sure what that's about. I think it's because technically I'm not in contact with the floor, therefore, you know, it can't hurt me. But I don't know. But anyway, here I'm just going for some really, really, really silly moves. Anything but Ice Fang, just to try and get some damage off on it and get as much HP back as possible. That's all I was after. He knows I'm going to go for the EQ again after seeing no Rocky Helmet damage. So he's going to bring in Hydreigon. I'm going to go to T-Tar thinking, sands up, I'll take this. And, you know, hopefully he'll just finish me off with the second one. He'll be at -4. I can bring in Landorus, kill it off early. Unfortunately, I do believe he is a Specs variant, so he will be able to take me out. I mean, 53% to a T-Tar in the sand is quite a lot. So I kind of figured, you know, that's Specs. So I bring in Rotom here just to, you know, fodder it out. I don't really see the need in keeping him later on. So I'm going to bring in Landorus now, like I said. I'm Scarfed. So I will be able to U-turn, which I do. I do take out the Hydreigon, which is nice. And now I'm going to go out into Terrakion, and I do this because looking at his team, he's quite threatened by it. And I kind of wanted to bluff the Scarf, but he makes a really good play and brings in the Ferrothorn to scout what kind of set I am before he brings in his Raikou or his Luke. So I guess he's thinking, you know, seeing as I'm Life Orb, then I'm probably going to be max speed and I'll be able to outspeed Luke. And, you know, E-Speed won't do much to me, and therefore he'll have to bring in Raikou, which is probably the only thing he has to outspeed me right now. So he decides to bring that in. I go for the Protector Scout. This is a Protect set. It's an amazing set. Judging by that, I'm pretty sure I can live a Thunderbolt, which I do. I actually take it, which was kind of surprising, but then I kind of thought I could take it anyway. Unfortunately, I don't carry Earthquake on the set, so I will be forced to Stone Edge, and thankfully it does hit, which will take it out, which is super nice. And in comes Gallade. Now this is a problem. I have to go to Landorus and I have to U-turn. I didn't want to bring in Landorus because that means I will now be giving him the switch initiative, which is really unfortunate. Although if you look at his team, he actually only has 2 pokes left anyway, so you know, what does it matter? So I bring in Gliscor, figure it's at low HP, it's great fodder. Slowbro comes in and I just decide at this point, sub up, scout what he wants to go for, see what kind of moveset he has. And you'll see right here, he just decides to go for the Scald, which is fine. I know now I can send in my CROCUNE, and that will pretty much finish up the match. I mean, I do have the Scald. Like I said, this is a CROCUNE, so I am max HP, max defense, bold nature, rest, calm mind, sleep talk, and Scald. So although my only offensive move is Scald, after 1 or 2 calm minds, it'd be dealing 30% to this Slowbro, and I know I can easily outstall it. He does have another poke, I believe. Well, P.O.'s showing me that he has another poke, but at this point, I don't think he did. So I think P.O. is just kind of shitting me. But anyway, he's going to Toxic. I don't care. Like I said, I'm a CROCUNE, so I will be able to just rest that off and sleep talk, so that's fine. I'm going to speed this portion of the battle up, actually. So I'm just going to go for a few comments. No, sorry. He does have a second poke left. P.O.'s not messing with me. So I'm just going to keep going for Scald here until, you know, I have to use rest. And I kind of figured that would be now, because he knows... I'm thinking, if I calm mine now... he's going to predict that and switch in his last poke, and that will cause massive problems. So I decide to predict his switch and go for the rest on this turn as opposed to the next turn, which actually works out really well because this Fusion Bolt would have completely destroyed me at the HP I was at. So now that I'm asleep, you know, like I said, max HP, max defense, bold, I'm going to be able to take that Fusion Bolt. So I sleep talk, and luckily I actually get the Scald and one-hit KO that Victini, which that was really, really nice. So now he's going to bring in Slowbro. I know I can just go for Sleep Talk here. That will be my last turn of Sleep Talk. And he's going to go for the Scald here. Now I know I'm going to wake up this turn, so I could go for the rest. Or I could just decide to Scald it to death and then bring in Landorus and just go for the U-turn to take it out, you know, ultimately. Which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to Scald. You can see that does do 34% after 2 or 3 Calm Minds. Not really sure how much I'm at right now. But going to be able to deal a decent amount of damage. He's going to be able to, I believe he finishes me off at some point here. Or I just go for the Scald, brings him down to 20%. He's going to go for the Scald. That's not going to kill me off. Maybe toxic damage does, possibly. We'll see this turn, I guess. It doesn't. Okay. So I'm going to go for Scald again, and that will take it out Slowbro. So yeah, I had 3 other pokes anyway, so that was fine. But that was a really good match. If you guys enjoyed it, feel free to leave a comment, leave ratings, you know, like, comment, sub, do your thing. And yeah, I'll catch you guys for tomorrow's upload.